Good day, everyone. My name is Maria Kądzielska, and this is Poland Daily Culture. He used to be the member of Knesset for Israeli Labour Party, the Secretary General for Labour Party, and the Deputy Speaker of Knesset. He's one of the Israeli politicians who most often visits Poland. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Yehiel Bar.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Thank you for being with us.
My pleasure.
But before we start the interview, let's listen to part of his speech.
A dark history made by the cruel and barbaric German Nazi regime. What I mean is not to change history, neither to bleach it, but we should both examine our past and our history in the right way in order for both of us to be on the right side of the history in the future.
Yehiel, you led for many years Poland-Israel Parliamentary Friendship Group, and you organized events during this, so you know a lot about Polish-Israel relations. Sometimes they are better, sometimes they are worse. Tell us how, in your opinion, we can make them better, of course.
Yeah, well, Israel and Poland, unfortunately, during the last years, have, ups and downs. I think that in Israel we understand the importance of having good relations, good ties with Poland. And actually, I think that in Poland, you also understand it. Both of us have a common history. We have a huge history together of 1,000 years. However, many people in Poland don't understand exactly the reality in Israel. And actually, in Israel, also not everyone understand Poland or Polish people. I know you heard a lot of things about Israel, that thinks that Poland may had a share of what happened to Jews here. Again, as I said, as a fact, Poland is the biggest cemetery in the world for Jewish people. 3 million Jews are buried around here. We heard all these stories about the Holocaust and what happened in Poland, and it happened mainly in Poland. It's not necessarily mean that it's happened because of Poland. We remember and we know that Poland was occupied by the Nazis. We know that in many, many ways, Polish people in Poland were also victims of the Nazi regime. So not everyone in Israel, including some politicians, not everyone in Israel understand it. Now, of course, like in any war, there were good Polish and bad Polish. By the way, there were good Germans also under the world, even Germans that helped Jews. Yeah, maybe, but I don't know the numbers. But of course, we know Oskar Schindler. Okay, Oskar Schindler was a German righteous among the nation who was, in a way, saved many Jews from the Nazis, and he, in a way, worked for the Nazis, okay, as a contractor. So good people and bad people you have everywhere, but I don't think you can blame Poland as a nation, as a state, for killing Jews. It wasn't a policy in Poland. Poland was the first state to be occupied in September 1939 by German, and we have to remember it. So, of course, sometimes you hear from Jewish survivors stories about Polish heroes that saved them, and sometimes you hear from a Jewish survivor stories about Polish who didn't help them or even gave them away to the Nazis. So again, individuals and different stories you have, but you cannot blame a nation for doing it. The blame for the Holocaust is for the German Nazis. Okay, this is the main evil forces came from there, from the twisted brain of Hitler and Goebbels and all these crazy barbaric people that made all this genocide to the Jewish people mainly, but also to others. So I want people to understand it, both in Israel and in Poland. And again, I don't know if I have the power to fix everything or everyone's mind or thoughts about Poland or Israel, but by coming here and investing a lot of people in the Parliamentary Friendship Group, investing a lot of time with the Friendship Group and in other means, saying that there is people in Israel that wants to thank Polish righteous, Polish heroes that saved Jews around the world, that to say that we also know that we had here and shared here 1,000 years of joint history that Jews had here before the Holocaust. And most of the time during the 1,000 years, the Jews had good life in Poland, fair life, huge communities.
That's why I guess lots of people forget also in the media mentioning Holocaust happened on Polish soil because it was the easiest way, because so many Jews lived here for centuries, and that's why they needed to move them so far. It was easier. It was best. I mean, in fact, it was the biggest community was in Poland, so just they needed to move them that
Absolutely,
far. Exactly,
naturally. So, of course, they killed also Jews in other communities, in other countries all
and
around
they
Europe.
brought
But here
them
there
to
was most of the
Poland
Jews.
as well, because they were to the camps, of course.
Exactly.
But it was the easiest way. So it also proves the fact that the Poland was the most open for Israeli groups, and they were part of the nations. That's why we very often forget that lots of the Jews who were murdered during the war, they didn't even really recognize themselves as Jews. They thought they were Poles, as many of our poets, for example, and then they became also the victim of the Nazi regime.
No, absolutely, you are totally right, Maria. Most of the Jews that were killed in the Holocaust were Polish, but also other Jews came from Hungary and other places to Poland, to Auschwitz, to Majdanek, to other Buchenwald, to other concentration camps. But you are right, it became a factory of killing Jews in Poland, because in Poland there was the biggest concentrations of Jews, and we shouldn't forget it. Yeah, absolutely.
So hopefully, and thank you very much publicly also for keeping this Polish-Israeli relations better and better and trying to maintain them, which is always a difficult task, maybe because our nations both share this element of we like to quarrel.
Yeah, but we have to remember one thing. There is a relations between politicians, and I am part of them, but there are also relations between people. And I think that you see more and more Israelis coming to Poland. It used to be that only our youth come to Poland and visit only in concentration camp, but now you will see more and more Israelis coming to Poland as tourists, and they are going to different sites and shopping and culture and concerts. And I think that this is another way to improve relations and discover Poland culturally, from any artistically, and not only visiting in a concentration camp. Of course, the visiting in a concentration camp are very important. It's part of our education as in high school, but I think that Poland have a lot to offer, and we have to mix what we are showing to the Israelis, to the Jewish people from around the world, and this is the part of the remembering of the Holocaust alongside the beautiful Poland, and I hope that will be the case in the next few years, and that we will not leave it only for politicians, but also for them.
It's important to notice that the relation between politicians and the people are different. They're a different thing. As this chance, we of course invite a lot of people from Israel to visit Poland and see how it is really here every day. And thank you for watching Poland Daily Culture.